Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is your girl Tysheen, and I'm back with another video. So I'm gonna be reacting to top 10 times British Karens face justice. So let's just get straight to the video because I want to know who started the name Karen.
Number 10, Tube Tirade. Trips on London's Underground are already daunting enough. There's the noise of the train, the weird smells, and people standing way too close to you. Yet, in January 2012, an intoxicated Jacqueline Woodhouse seemingly wanted to make the experience worse by going on a racist rant. She asked where people were from, claimed many were probably in the country illegally, and threatened harm to them.
You Crossman, you're on that camera. I show what government of people like let you in.
With a similar incident in 2008, Woodhouse was promptly arrested for the disturbance after handing herself into the cops once footage was posted online. She was later sentenced to prison for 21 weeks for her tirade.
Added to that, the judge gave her an ASBO, banning her from the tube and the DLR for 5 years if she is drunk.
On top of that, Woodhouse was also sacked from her secretarial job. Number 9.
I always tell people, don't use being drunk as excuses, because if you're drunk and you're saying things, that's because you really, that's what you really want to say, that's in you. When you drinking alcohol, it brings out the real you. I don't care what no one says. When you drunk and you say some hurtful things, that's the real you coming out. You have no control over that. So whatever you're thinking or whatever how you feel, and you start drinking and drinking and drinking, that's when your real self will start to come out. So if someone is drunk and saying some mean things to me, I don't want you around me no more. Because I don't care. You could apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I don't give a damn. That's how you feel. That's how you feel.
9. Tram Karen. Public transport seems to bring out the worst in people.
You
It seemed like it.
None of you English.
In November 2011, footage of Emma West travelling on a tram in Croydon was released, which took the internet by storm for all the wrong reasons. On it, with a child on her lap in the packed carriage, she launched into a racist tirade against black and Polish people.
Yes, well get off the tram then.
You.
And you.
You.
After her arrest, West received a 24-month community order for her trouble. But that's not all. Later on, West was struck off by the General Dental Council as a nurse on claims her behaviour had indicated she was a risk to patients and had shamed the profession. Number 8.
Good for her. What is wrong with people? Like, this is 2023 and people are still saying hurtful things to other people, other race. Why? Mind your business. Let people live. It's not going to change anything. You know what I'm saying? And why are we still judging people the color of their skin or judging people for where they come from? Like, we're still doing this?
Leading poorly. Football managers are meant to be leaders that provide support and encouragement for their players. Well, that's apparently not the case with Johnyams. In April 2022, he was suspended from his job at Crawley Town after several players came forward with allegations about his racist antics.
He described Muslim members of the squad as terrorists.
Yams was accused, among many things, of mispronouncing Arnold Schwarzenegger's name to become a slur, racial stereotyping masquerading as jokes, and attempts to bring segregation to the changing rooms. By May, Yams had left Crawley by mutual consent as the incidents began to pile up. But that's not all. An independent panel investigated the various claims. They found Yams had committed 12 infringements and was banned from football for 18 months. However, the FA is looking to extend the duration. Number 7.
What is wrong with people? I don't know.
Royal rant. Whether you're pro-monarchy or pro-republic, pretty much everyone can agree. You don't aim your displeasure at a child. But that's exactly what Angela Gibbons did in 2016. She made comments on her Facebook page that slated the then 2-year-old Prince George. At the time, she was working as a manager for the charity the British Council, which had Queen Elizabeth II as a patron, making the situation even more awkward. After an investigation by the group, they dismissed Gibbons for her comments. However, she took the British Council to a tribunal for wrongful dismissal. In November 2017,
So
the judge
cute.
turned down her case since she committed a personal attack on a small child, which is fair. Number 6. Terrible teaching. Working as a teacher with children that have emotional, social, and mental health needs isn't for everyone. It's a difficult job, yet rewarding. But Karens, like Barbara Phillips, are definitely not fit to hold such a position. In October 2019, she was fired from her school in Warrington. After an investigation, it was found that she had referred to students as idiots and other insults behind their backs, and sometimes to their faces. Phillips
What?
also used social media to vent about the kids' behaviour, even naming them publicly. After she was fired, she accepted full responsibility, right? Nope, of course not. Phillips instead messaged a pupil's guardian to seemingly sarcastically thank them. Number 5. Bo's.
So she has no regrets. She doesn't care. She said, I'm sticking to that same energy I had before. People just make their life so miserable. Why? Why you want to live so miserable? Why? Why are you doing that to yourself?
Sting and banned. Katie Hopkins might possibly be the most famous Karen to come from Blighty.
You will know that I have always called lockdown the greatest hoax in human history.
Aren't we lucky? After numerous controversies throughout her career, Hopkins was set to be in Australia's Big Brother VIP TV show. But with the pandemic, she was staying at a hotel in Sydney to quarantine during lockdown. Hopkins filled her time by posting on Instagram numerous times, slating the measures and bragging about putting the hotel staff at risk as she ignored guidelines. Well, the Aussie authorities were livid. After being sacked from the show, Hopkins was fined $1,000 Australian, had her visa revoked, and was deported back to the UK with a police escort to the airport.
We will be getting her out of the country as soon as we can possibly arrange that.
Number 4.
She doesn't give a damn. People are so selfish. So selfish. Like, why would you put other people at risk? Because you don't give a damn. I don't care. Oh my
Spiteful
God.
in Singapore. The pandemic really showcased how inconsiderate people could be, especially with those who refused to wear a face mask for a brief time to protect others when it was mandatory. In May 2021, Benjamin Glynn was working for a recruitment agency in Singapore. He was filmed breaking the rules by not wearing a mask on public transport after work. Believing masks were a hoax, the police soon intervened and arrested the expat, who could have faced up to a 6-month prison sentence. Before this incident, Glynn was due to return to the UK for a job. However, he lost the role after his brush with the law. In August 2021, he was sentenced to 6 weeks in prison, but the following day, he was released due to time served and deported back to the UK. Number 3.
Just because you don't believe anything doesn't mean that you should just walk around and put other people at risk. Okay, I get it. You think this is a hoax. You don't believe in it. Okay, I get that. But there's a law that you have to follow. Okay?
Bristol Bash. In March 2022, the UK had some nice weather for a change, so Faye Johnson took her children paddleboarding in Bristol. However, a group of tweens were seemingly throwing rocks and mud balls at folk enjoying the water. Johnson exploded. She confronted the group and let her anger get the better of her. She struck Antoine Forrest on the head with a paddle, leaving a nasty wound. To make it worse, there's no proof that Forrest was throwing anything. After the police were heavily criticised for their lack of quick action over claims it was racially motivated, they eventually arrested Johnson. She admitted her wrongdoing, received a suspended sentence, and had to pay Forrest £500. Number 2.
I get it. You say things to people, but once you put your hands on someone, she lucky that wasn't my child. I'll probably be the one locked up. If that was my child, I'll be the one that's gonna be locked up. I wouldn't even call the police. I'm not calling the police first. If that was my child, I'll be the one that's gonna be locked up before I even call the police. I'm just saying.
Rage drinking. Having caused a scene, ignored various warnings, and been thrown out of a cocktail bar in Halifax in January 2023, a reportedly intoxicated Justine Morrison couldn't just go home and remember the shame the next morning. Instead, she decided to go on a racist tirade against doorman Dally Wiley and mocked his job.
Oh my God, you must be so proud. Oh, you're working on a door.
All of which was captured on video. Morrison was arrested for her outburst, spent the weekend in jail, then sent home with a conditional caution. Once her employers found out, they weren't happy. Working as a part-time accountant at Shine Theatre Arts Company, the group fired her publicly. After all that, Morrison was also permanently banned from the cocktail bar. Number 1.
I never understand why people feel the need to say hurtful things to people. Like, I just don't get it. If you don't like something, just keep it moving. Like, I don't get it.
Knockout racism. Oh boy, the Tube is once again the scene for a massive racist rant.
Violence! Violence!
It's bonkers how much this happens. Anyway, in August 2020, a maskless Billy Steele, with all the unearned confidence possible, went on a tirade against other passengers. He especially picked out a group of black people on the London Underground, saying vile things and telling them they were going to be sent back.
I'm popular. What's your name? You know my name. What's your name?
Even with others trying to step in, Steele wasn't having it and continued his hate preaching. As the group got off, getting more abuse, one member spun and punched Steele, apparently knocking him out. Afterward, Steele reportedly handed himself in to the police, who didn't take any action. But his mother stated he was getting help for his behaviour.
Do you agree?
What? Oh my God! What is? Well, hey, he deserved that knockout. Maybe that'll teach him to keep your mouth shut, okay? And respect people. You don't notice people. You know, you put your life at risk of being so hateful and being nasty. Be careful. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Oh my God. Comment below, let me know how you feel about this video. Woo! And make sure you subscribe to my channel. I see you lovely people. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Peace.